Good morning. This is Marc Mason with the Comics Waiting Room. I am here with Cara Nicole. Good morning.
Good morning.
I called you Cara Nicole, but what do most people call you?
Most people call me AZ Power.
That's right. You are one of the most high-profile cosplay people in comics these days.
I am?
You do a lot of shows. You do a lot of outreach, and you actually have created now a quarterly sort of magazine devoted to your art. So let's talk about that first. What was the genesis for that?
The genesis of that, I have no idea. I did a photo book last year. It was similar to an artist sketchbook, but it was cosplay. And I wanted to do more. I wanted to include more content. I wanted to answer people's questions. I get a lot of questions. And I wanted to answer them and show people what cosplay is. Cosplay is kind of teetering right now. No one really knows what it is or what they do or where it's going to go. So I kind of outline that and say, here's what it is.
Okay, then that begs the question, doesn't it? What is cosplay? Where is it going?
Cosplay started out as a bunch of people just wanting to dress up and have a good time. It expanded into an art form that people spend hours upon hours, months, days, years, thousands of dollars to create these costumes and suits. And people want someone representing their characters for their art and for their books. People want pictures. People love going to Disneyland, taking a picture of the princess. Same thing with comics, video games. So that's kind of where it's going. I've got the cosplay calendar with some of those girls, and people want to see their characters that they love come to life.
Now, you are most famous, of course, for playing Power Girl.
Yes.
How did that start? What made you pick Power Girl?
I think it chose me. I started out doing charity. I actually found an ad on Craigslist. I used to be an actor, and I wanted to get back into it. Found an ad. Superhero group, Justice League wants to get some superheroes in and do some good for the community. I thought this would be a great opportunity to do what I love, have some fun, dress up. And it said, if you don't know what superhero you should be, come on in and we'll pick something for you. And I started looking online and I saw Power Girl and I was like, I want to be her. And she's awesome. And I walked in, I didn't say that, I walked in and they said, well, you might make a good Supergirl. And I'm thinking, really? I thought I'd make a better Power Girl. And they said, well, that's actually what we wanted, but how do you ask someone to put that on? So people ask me all the time, do you grow your hair out between shows or whatever? And I looked like that outside the costume. I looked like that day to day.
So you mentioned that cosplay is sort of at a crossroads these days. There's been some kind of high-profile pokes taken at cosplay lately by people like Tony Harris and others. How do you respond to that? All right, so how do you respond to sort of some of the negativity that's been handed towards cosplayers lately?
I don't care. There's negativity towards everything and everyone. There are artists that don't like cosplayers because it takes away from their booth. There's artists that want cosplayers because it gets their characters out there. Everyone here is doing what they love, and that's what it's about.
Now, one of the myths is that cosplayers don't really know anything about comics, but in your case, that's definitely not true, right?
Right.
Talk about what you do with comics.
What I do with comics?
Yeah.
What do you mean, what I do with comics?
You're making your own comics.
I do. I have my own comic book that is actually in the back of my magazine. So it's broken up, and in order to get the whole story, you got to get all the issues. I also work with Albert Trujillo on Project Shadows. I do additional writing and some costume design for characters. I have been on some covers. So I actually do work in the comic book industry. I work for Marvel Comics. I've worked for Big City Comics. Both of those were at San Diego Comicon. As far as people not knowing about them, my comic book collection, sorry to say, is mostly from my childhood. Ren and Stimpy, Red Sonja, and Tales from the Crypt.
Still pretty good, though. All right. Cara, thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you for having me, and anytime.